Okay, welcome back to the rack. Today we are having a look at chords. We're taking a look at making better chords by changing or varying the fingering. So yeah, let's get started. So this is just a method that I like to use to create some variance in your chords to make them sound a bit less flat and generic. So there's plenty of tutorials and people showing you how to vary the velocity of the notes, which is another great way to add some variance. But today we're just looking at fingering. So to start off with, I'm just going to use some of my own modules just to generate a melodic sequence. So I need a quantizer. So basically I've got a clock, a kind of sequence generator, and then a quantize. I'm just going to use the wavetable oscillator, one of my favorites. So as it stands here, let's just take one clock to reset the sequence after, I don't know, a few bars or something. And then just take another clock and we use that to generate the notes. How frequently? That should be enough. And we're going to generate notes over, say, 2 octaves. And we're going to quantize to only the white notes. So we're quantizing to a scale there. And we're just going to take the output of our sequencer, quantize it, take the output of the quantizer, use it to control the pitch of the oscillator, and then we're just going to go straight to the output. That's it. So pretty boring, simple little sequence there. These notes are going to basically be the root note of our chords, and to generate our chords we are going to use this awesome module by Aaron Static called Chord CV, Chord Generator, and we're actually just going to put that after the quantizer. So the quantized notes are going to go into the root note here. Then you can see at the top it should tell us our root note, C, D, B, then C again. And then we're going to take so we've got this output here. You've got individual outputs here for the different notes that it produces in the chord. And then at the bottom, this orange output is a polyphonic output. So this outputs all of the notes combined into a polyphonic signal. Now, if I connect that up to our oscillator, you'll notice we now have a blue signal instead of the green one, which indicates that these cables here are passing a polyphonic signal. So what's happening here is we're just generating a sequence here. We're quantizing it to a scale. That's setting the root note of our chord generator. And then the chord generator takes the root note and adds 3 extra notes on top of that. And then the 4 notes combined go into this oscillator. And because this is a polyphonic signal, it effectively creates 4 copies of this oscillator, 4 independent copies, and they're all going to have a different pitch. So let's have a quick listen to that. And we can mess with the inversion and the voicing. Maybe go down an octave. Change the sequence. We'll mess with that later, but that's basically it. We've got chords. But If we think about a real keyboard player, they don't press all the notes at the same time. There's a slight delay, or sometimes we might exaggerate the delay between pressing one note and the next in your chord. And this is something called fingering. It's kind of a bit like an arpeggiator, but instead of being completely broken, it's only slightly broken, and it's a lot shorter time interval normally. So we're going to simulate that, and the way we're going to do that is, well, first things first. We need to do this properly. We need to have a VCA and an envelope generator. So I'm going to just type in VCA, and where's that nice one by Bog Audio? There it is. This is a great VCA. Has a few extra options, like it can be linear or exponential. So I find you can get some sharper attack times with it. Works really well with the, where is it, AD, my favorite envelope generator, the AD. So attack, decay. So this is a bit like using an ADSR envelope with the sustain set to 0, and then you can just mess with the attack and decay to create your envelope. So I need to take our clock pulse, and that is going to trigger our envelope, and then the envelope is going to control the VCA, so it goes into the CV input. We then take our polyphonic signal and shove it in the input, and then we take the output and put it to the outputs. Beautiful, already a big improvement. But you can see we've got a blue signal here, but the actual envelope itself is green. So that's not polyphonic. So basically we've got a polyphonic signal, but it's all being enveloped by a single VCA and envelope. But one of the reasons why I chose these two modules is because they can be polyphonic. But what we need to do is we need to generate more clock pulses, multiple clock pulses, and then combine them together to create a polyphonic trigger, and then that should do the trick. So the way in which we're going to do that is we're actually going to delay the trigger pulse from the clock. I'm going to use this one here. So what's it called? It's called the dual signal delay by I can't say that. I think it's an anagram of Synthi. Yes, so we're going to basically take we're going to need another one, aren't we? So let's just duplicate that. And we need to send the clock into all of these. So I'm going to just take the clock, our main clock. Oh no, they're selected. I can't plug things in. Deselect. Okay, so that's the first one, second one, third one, fourth one. And now we need to combine these four into a polyphonic signal to replace this monophonic trigger that we've got going in here. So I'm going to do that with a merger. There's a VCV one here, which is nice because it tells you how many channels are connected. But I'm going to use, there's this nice looking one from Grande. Very nice. Nice font on the bottom there. Cool. And we can just take all four of these and then combine them into a polyphonic signal. So if I just take this trigger out of here and then take this poly out and put that in there, it should be blue. It is. Hooray. So now we've effectively got 4 oscillators, 4 envelopes and 4 VCAs. Everything's blue. It should sound, oh no, there should be one note yeah, it's the time delay would turn them down. If we turn the time delay to 0, it should sound the same as before. Yes, that's it. Now what we can do is just add a little. Here we go. And already that's a big improvement. You could just stop there. But I want a bit more variation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to randomly change the fingering for every chord. Okay, and I'm going to do that with a random number generator, or random, I guess it's a random CV generator. So by the same people here as the delay units. What are these classed as? Signal delays. Signal delays, yeah. So yeah, this is by the same company. Yeah, author. Yeah. So we just take this random number here, and that's going to control this CV there, and then this random number is going to control that one, this one's going to control that one, and this one is going to control that one. So each of these CV inputs for the time on the delay is going to receive a different random number. We can just click this button to select a new fingering. So and these are proportional, so what we can do is set them all to a really small number, like I think it's between 0 and 1 second maybe, so let's just put them all to like 0.2 or something. And because they're proportional, we will now get, when a random value goes in, it will select a time delay between 0 and 0.2 seconds, I believe. So we can basically use these now to loosen things up a bit, or if we want to tighten it up a bit, we can rein it in a bit. So I'm going to just put 0.1 here, I'm going to put 0.1 here and 0.1 here because I want it a bit shorter, not so loose, a bit tighter. This first one here, I'm just going to turn that to 0 actually. I'm not going to have any time delay on it. I just want one note to actually hit at the precise time, just to anchor everything. There. Brilliant. So what we can do now is take our clock and then use that to trigger a new set of random values. There we go. There we go. So now every single chord is fingered slightly differently. Let's put some reverb on. It would be rude not to, wouldn't it? Let's just put... oh yeah, another one of my favourites. Oh god, it's like I'm not sponsored by... How do you say that? Nisty. I'm going to call it Nisty. They've just got some good plugins here, so I'm going to use them. I'm going to take the output and put it into the plate reverb. This is cool because you can put a mono in and then it gives you stereo out. So it's a good way of adding some width. Oh, yes. Go for a longer sequence. Ah, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Yeah, so this is a cool technique to add a bit of spice and interest to your chords. It might be useful for people interested in things like lo-fi hip-hop. And you get those nice kind of broken chord, well, nice fingered chords in that style of music. So yeah, or even for ambient and things like that, could be useful. Yeah, so thank you for watching and listening. I hope you have a great day, and I'll just let some of this play out, and I will see you next time.